Welcome to Lateral Hazard. This week we have Joanne Miller of Tour Edge Golf. A rather interesting foray into golf for you, historically speaking. Would you care to tell us a little bit about that? How did you get into golf?
Well, I guess it started when I was about 11 years old. My dad started taking me to the golf course, which was owned by my family in Western Michigan. And when I first started going with him, I would just ride along in the cart with him and kind of watch what he was doing. But then I graduated to, I would actually fix ball marks before he got to the green to mow it. And back in that day, there were no repair tools. I used a flathead screwdriver to fix ball marks. So that's a little bit different. You don't hear that every day, but that was what we had to use. Those were the tools that we used. So, and I worked on the grounds crew for the next 15 years and, graduated to mowing fairways and roughs and greens and tees and everything like that.
So you were a pretty decent player at one point too, right?
I did play in college. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Oh.
But yeah, I definitely enjoyed the college years and playing competitively.
And then from there, you got into riding?
I did. I took a little bit of time for me to kind of work my way to that, but I ended up at a local regional newspaper here in Chicago, and it was golf all the time, and so it was a lot of fun. I was able to write a lot of stories and cover a lot of really great tournaments and also edit and work on advertising and everything like that. So it was definitely a different look into the golf industry.
So did that lead to Tour Edge, or is that how the journey went?
Absolutely. So as a media member, you learn to know everybody in the golf industry, especially in the Chicago market. It's very small. We all know each other, and definitely worked way into me becoming the public relations manager, and then more recently in the last 4 years, it was the public relations director.
So what, like day to day, what do you do?
Day to day, I'm trying to come up with some different ideas of how to work with the media. How do I better relationships with the media members that I deal with on a day-to-day basis and communicate with them via email, phone calls, text messages, and then also assisting with the marketing department as well, just on coming up with creative ideas of how we can increase our brand awareness. We run our company a little bit differently than some of the other big companies that you see out there. So we really try to be different and original and try to do things that are different.
Well, that brings me to backtrack a little bit. You mentioned Chicago. Most of the major golf manufacturers are located in California and locations like that. So with Tour Edge being in Chicago, what does that mean for the company and for the culture?
I think it's a little bit different. I can't speak for the experience out in California because I've never been out there to see the golf row, if you will. But in the Midwest, I really feel like we're down to earth. We're a privately held company, so it's very family oriented. If you need a day off because your kids are sick or something like that, they're very understanding because it is family owned, and we all still get our work done, and we all work really hard because we respect each other and we all want to see each other succeed. So there's a lot of teamwork and camaraderie, I think, that you would see within the atmosphere of Tour Edge.
For where Tour Edge is right now, what do you see in the next couple of years?
I think it's a really exciting time here at Tour Edge with our Hot Launch 2 release and the 48-hour custom delivery guarantee. I think that's been really successful for us, and I really feel like that's pushing our profile to another level. And I think that's really exciting for a company like ours, and that since we've been around for 30 years, that carries a lot of weight with people as well. Let them know that we're not going anywhere. We're just going to keep doing what we're doing and keep doing it better.
And I have to throw you a curveball because I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't. Being that we are in Chicago, if you have somebody that's not familiar with the area and they were coming to Chicago, what is the one thing or place that you would tell them to go to get food?
Well, everybody always talks about the pizza, and that's always a go-to for everybody. But I'm a huge fan of Italian beef. So I would go the route of Italian beef, but you got to have the giardiniera, which if you're not from the Midwest, you might not know what that is. It's actually like a really hot relish, and it's really good, and it's good on everything, but especially Italian beef. It's also good on hot dogs, on deli sandwiches. In my house, we put it on everything. So that would be something that might be a little bit different than just the general offer of pizza.
I like it.